This week's Parsha is Parshas Bechukosai, and this week's video is sponsored as a refuah shalema from Matal Bas Elka. The psukim in Parshas Bechukosai talk all about the teichacha, the condemnation of Klal Yisrael if they don't keep the mitzvahs. But right before the Torah talks about what happens if they don't keep the mitzvahs, the Torah says all the brachas that will happen to Klal Yisrael if they do keep the mitzvahs. And one of the brachas is v'achaltem lachemchem l'soiva. They will have enough bread to be satisfied. They won't go hungry. And Rashi explains that if they eat a little morsel of bread, they eat just a tiny bit, it will multiply in their stomach and make them full. That's what it means that they won't go hungry. But the question is, why is it that if they eat a small morsel of bread, that they won't go hungry, that it will multiply in their stomach? Why isn't it that they will just have an abundance of food and they can eat as much as they want? So the Medrash says, Oyev kesef lo yizba kesef. Someone who loves money or the pursuit of physical things won't be satisfied with it, because you have money. If you have mana, writes the Messiah. If you have 100, you want 200. That's just the way the world works. But the same thing is true with something spiritual. When a person's in a spiritual mode and they realize that if they have a certain amount of Torah and they're learning an hour a day, they want to learn 2 hours a day. Someone who's truly into learning loves the learning. They're chasing spiritual things like Torah and mitzvahs. Those are the two halves of one coin. Rabbi Leib explains that is actually the ultimate bracha, v'achaltem lachnechem l'soiva. Since we have a choice whether we could go after our physical wants or our spiritual desires, by limiting the amount of food, by not giving us an abundance of food and saying eat whatever you want, but rather giving us a little food and saying you'll be satisfied with it. It will grow in your stomach to make you full. That is the biggest bracha, because now all the physical things that you want to chase after are not important anymore. You're satisfied, you're good. Now you could chase after the more important things, the truly important things, spiritual goals, lofty goals. That's the true purpose of this world, for Olam Haba, not Olam Hazeh. It reminds me of a mashal, of a story. There was a canary that lived in the same room as a fish. One was in a fishbowl, the canary was in his cage, and one sweltering hot summer's day, the fish wondered out loud and said, I wish I could be like that canary, singing such a melodious tune on his perch. And the canary likewise said, I wish I could be in that cool bowl of water like that fish. It's so hot in here. The master of the house overheard them, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna grant both of your wishes and we'll switch places. So all of a sudden he takes the bird, puts it in the water, he takes the fish, he takes it in the air, and it only took 1 second for both of them to realize what a mistake they made. The fish can't live without water, and a bird can't live in water, could only live flying around in the air. Human beings are an interesting concept. We're a mixture of two things. We're half malach, half behema, half angel, half animal. We're not our own species. We're a half of a malach and a half of a behema, which means we have our malach, our angel, our spiritual side pulling us up, stretching us to reach greater heights, and we have our animalistic nature pulling us down to pursue physical things. We have to let our physical side go. Obviously, we do need physicality. We're a mixture. We need both. But we have to try to reach towards our spiritual heights, towards our loftiness, towards our angel-like goals. Let us be zeichet to do that, and we may be zeichet to see the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meher b'yameinu amen. Have a beautiful Shabbos.